joining me on My Life on Paper. I am Brianna. Welcome back to May I Scraplift You, which is by Pineapple Papers. And it is the whole month of May where we scraplift someone else's layout. Today I am I'm lifting Work to Scrap, and that is Liz Ketter. I have a picture of my daughter and her fiance. This was Easter. I've mentioned before I was horrible at taking pictures on Easter. She sent me a picture of the two of them after they had left. So immediately I went to my Iris box of Easter items. This, I believe, is papers. This is from a paper pad. So I pulled out this paper and this paper. And you can see on the layout I'm going to scrap lift, it's got those strips. So I thought this would be good for that. Then I went into my box that's got just multicolor scraps. And I pulled out 3 of them, which I thought coordinated nicely. And I'm going to admit this, it's not exactly the mood and feel of this, but what I'm thinking is once you cut them down to little pieces, I think these are all going to go together nicely. The other thing I'm thinking is that once I cut these down and look at how much there's going on, I might want to pull in a solid piece of paper rather than all these patterns, but we're going to see how that goes. I also have this. This is just a scrap. And then in my Easter things, I have Easter Wishes by Color Play. They're cardstock die cuts, a lot of frames, a couple tags, a couple banners. And then just because I don't have, I do have, this is all I have as far as Easter embellishments. I went into Hello Easter. I have the whole collection of this, but I really don't want to pull out those papers. They're all full papers. They haven't been gone into at all yet. And I want to use some of these scraps. So we're going to see how this works. These are just some random cut aparts I have, and I probably do have more of my stash that I can pull in, but this is what I'm starting with. So let's get scrapping. This is going to be a little on the longer side as far as videos. And if I've learned anything recently, I think it's because, when you don't use a collection and you're using stuff from your stash, it just takes a little longer to kind of sift through everything. So first I cut down these strips into 2 inches, which works perfectly. I do end up using all the pattern paper that I thought I would, rather than switching it out for a solid pattern or a solid cardstock. The yellow and even the yellow pink and even the Easter bunny with all the pink, it reads more as a solid. Maybe not the bunny, but those ones like the yellow reads more as a yellow. So I like it just fine. And then there is, and you'll see in the original layout that there is white in between each of those strips. So that's why I have the 5 2-inch strips. And I do distress each one of them. On camera, you're only going to see me distress the one. I do move them around, and they end up being different even than the way I put them down. But it's all good. So I distress this with my Tim Holtz distresser, and I do everything over the top of the white cardstock, which does leave quite a mess. There's a lot of kind of shreds of paper, but by doing it over the white cardstock, it's easy to then gather it up and throw it in the garbage. So there I've got them all distressed, and this is where I move them around. And when I take them off, I'm not sure. Oh, I know why I took them off, is because I'm going to make the kind of the doodly border. They go back on reversed, or maybe that was when I cleaned off the shreds. So now they're on reversed, of what I kind of laid them out, but that's the way they're going to go down. So then I just take my black pen that I use for journaling, and I just don't use a ruler or anything, just run several lines, and that was the same way as her scrapbook layout was as well. And I do a little zigzag for a little stitch there. And I like the way this turned out. I would do this on more layouts. I just don't think of it, but easy way just to give it a little bit more interest. And the same thing with the bottom. And because of the strips, you don't have to run the lines up the sides. Just a little short like I'm doing there. So I get that done and put down my strips again, and then I do mat the photo. I have a different pink pattern paper that you only see just a tiny little bit of, so that goes behind the photo, and then it's a yellow cardstock, a yellow solid cardstock that goes behind the pink pattern paper. And then I just eyeball the strips up to get them somewhat straight. And I don't think my cardstock is 12 by 12, but I'm very okay with that. And some of the strips weren't 12 by 12, you can see there, but I do trim off the excess. And for some reason it takes me 2 swipes to get those 2 of those trimmed. And then I think I'm ready to glue down my photo, knowing that I'm going to tuck some things behind. And this is the fun part of just trying out different things that I found in my stash. Those hearts are stickers, and they're kind of sparkly, and I think I got them off of Facebook Marketplace when I bought a big stash of things. And they're going to work really well on this layout. So I get the picture down, and again, knowing that I'm going to tuck things around there. Right away I find these close to my heart flowers. They're kind of corners, but they're flowers, and they're not the white base, they're more the cream base, and they just work perfectly there. So I glue them down right away, which is not like me, but I glued them down right away. That one yellow tab says April. It's kind of a banner, and I know I want to use that. And then one of those, I have a lot of washi tape that are like on those, they're just strips of washi tape. So that green one I use as one of the banners, and then I just make a fishtail banner on the end. And then it's going to have some stuff overlap. That is a Stampin' Up! Sticker, and it gets moved around a little bit, and it actually doesn't stay up in that corner, but it'll stay up there for a little bit. And I have these stickers. They're just colorful, and I had gotten them on Scrapbook Generation, like on clearance. And I think this is a Pink Fresh Studio circle there, and I end up using a washi sticker over the top that says smile. And then I'm just layering things and using those shiny hearts too to go in each of the clusters. Now this is a Simple Stories sticker. I got a bunch on Peachy Cheap. It says Laugh and Love, and I like the way the colors go with the layout. It is an Easter layout, but you can tell that with the Easter eggs and the chocolate bunny and the Easter bunnies and everything, so I don't feel like I need to say Easter. There's going to be other pages with it that say Easter. Then along the left side of the picture, there's a bunch of like banners and labels and stuff. And then I find these are close to my heart, various size flowers that were punch out, and these have to be at least 15 years old. And so I just ink them up a little bit. I'll eventually grab my ink out, and then, which I really like the way they look. And that's like the finishing touch, and I use several of them, although I don't use them all. But that was a really good use of my stash. And I end up inking it with Spice Marmalade, which I didn't think was going to happen because it's so orange, but you know, it's because it's over the top of this kind of yellowy orangey cardstock, it just is exactly what it needed. And so then I just keep tucking things. There's like center pieces to the flowers and you can layer up the different flower sizes. So super excited to get these out of my stash. And then I go Oh, no, I'm going to make a couple more. I wanted to slip something underneath that brown, but that was just going to rip. That was stuck down well, so that's not moving. But I do layer up a couple more of these flowers and get them in various different places. So there's one up there in the right-hand cluster. There's the big one on the left-hand cluster. And then I start getting those labels down. The purple is a Nicole Jones 911 printable. That orange says treasure, and that's been in my stash forever. And there's another yellow one from Nicole Jones 911. And that other one, there's a pink tab in there that says hip hop from the Easter cardstock pieces. And then I ink up the labels. So this is squeezed lemonade. And I use that. I think I fishtail banner that. You know what? I didn't use that. I used mustard seed. I needed something a little bit darker. So mustard seed it was. And then I used wilted violet for the purple. And then, like I said, I fishtail banner those and get those laying down the same place. She's got the kind of the banners along the left-hand side. And then I just thought I needed one more flower. She does have kind of two flowers there with some greenery. So I start to move things around again. Make sure you check out everybody that's playing along. There's a playlist below for May I Scrapbook Let's try that again. May I Scraplift you? I've been keeping up with watching them all. New ones get put in every day. It is very fun to do scrap lists of other people. The Instagram link will be below of the one I'm scrap lifting today. There's that treasure word. I'm moving things out of the way. And then don't lose anything there. Oh, there goes the hip hop. And then there's the April. But that was perfect since it's April. And then I am going to ink up and layer up one more flower. And this is where I get the idea of putting the heart in the center of the flower. So again, I ink that up with the spiced marmalade. I make two of them right away, I think. And there's all different sorts of pieces to put in the center. But this is really fun. And it makes me realize I should be getting my punches out too, because how easy is this to make an impact on a page? So there goes the heart sticker in the middle. And then I'm just not sure where to put it. It just doesn't look right necessarily anywhere. And hers were layered really kind of close together because it had a lot of greenery on it. And I know I didn't want it up there, so it comes off there really fast. And I liked it over there. So I think that ends up there, and then I make another one because I still want one on the left-hand side. And I've got more heart stickers, and I've got more pieces to layer. So there goes the spiced marmalade again with my brush I got on Amazon. And I do a real dark on the outside, but then I kind of feather it in so it's not, I want kind of a gradual color and not everything to be exactly, the same color, because obviously hearts and flowers in nature are not all the same color. So that's where I pull the green leaf that was up on the right hand side from Stampin' Up, and I put it down to the left. And then I try this green label. That's Nicole Jones 911 label. And I actually glue it down, but I'm not a big fan of the white. There is white throughout this layout. It wouldn't have been the worst thing in the world. And then I finally figure out where I'm going to put that. Oh, I've lost the word April. It's moving my page around because I lost the tab April. I do find it. Oop, there I found it. So I'm going to glue that down before I lose it again. And it goes on the green banner so that you can see it and it pops out. And then hip hop gets glued down so that I don't lose that. And that is where that last flower rests, is up more to the left. And we're getting to the end of the layout. I'm going to make sure everything is glued down. I have this potted plant, and so Janet from RTS always says how you can tuck things. You don't have to use them exactly. So you don't see the pots at all. You'll just see the greenery, and that really makes me happy. And I think that's really what it needed up there. So I hope you have a fabulous day. I will see you again soon for another video, and check out everybody below that's playing along.